Welcome to Review Rewind, the show where a couple of friends watch movies of old and aim to figure out if the reviewers were spot on or a little off. I'm Mike.
And I'm Tristan.
And this week, we're talking about... Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Office Space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, Tristan.
Hello.
What's your bright spot?
I should have been prepared for this. Oh, no. Okay. What's my bright spot? Oh, no. I saw a dog today.
Yeah?
You know how like when you walk by a dog and sometimes you just get distracted by the dog and you just keep looking, you're like, oh man, that's a cute dog. I feel like this dog was doing the opposite, where it saw me and then it kept turning around and being like, human want to pet me. And that was a pretty great experience. I work from home, so a lot of my interactions are going for a walk and seeing the neighborhood dogs.
Yeah. I get it. That's fair.
Yeah.
Dogs are great. Dogs are awesome.
Mm-hmm. How about you? What's your bright spot?
I was trying to think of it as we were going. One of my bands finished writing a song, and like it's a really fun song. So
cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's it. You know. All right. So this week we are talking about Office Space. It is directed by Mike Judge, produced by Daniel Rappaport and Michael Rotenberg. A lot of rubbers in those names.
Yeah.
Written by Mike Judge. Distributed by Fox and Cubicle Inc. Rated R. Genre comedy, original language English. Release date February 19th, 1999. Budget $10 million. Opening weekend, it made $4 million. And worldwide, which was mostly the U.S., it made $10 million.
Wow.
I did look up, because with some of these older movies that were a flop, you and I lived through it, but maybe if we do have even listeners in their early 20s or something, which we don't, I'm sure. But it's important to note that some of these movies had absolute terrible, like it made its budget back, which is its own thing, but it was advertised very poorly and the studio gave up on it. So it really didn't have its, it didn't lead into it wasn't set up for success. Let's say that. And so it didn't do too great, but through TV views and DVD sales, it's actually made quite a few million, several million. It was hard to find an exact number, but it's around over 5 million, maybe a little more. Oh, no. Sorry, that's wrong. It was like 5 million units.
Ooh.
So multiply that by whatever the cost was.
Mm-hmm.
And so it did okay in home sales, maybe doubled what it made. So still not like a worldwide success, but it has had life continue into itself through home sales.
Yeah.
So it has some relevancy through that. Also, story-wise, feels very relevant. Starring Ron Livingston, Jennifer Aniston, Stephen Root, and Gary Cole. We'll talk about some of the other actors who were in it. Those were just the ones who got, top billing.
Top billing.
Top billing. That top billing. You know what they say about top billing? Recap! Right? That's a good joke, right? You'll never know. Anyway, now we transition into the segment we like to call Recap Rewind, where we rewind and recap the film for you. This week, Tristan, I've been meaning to talk to you about your TPS reports.
Right.
And due to that, I'm going to need a recap within the next now. I'm also going to need you to come in on Sunday.
Dang it. I knew it.
Rats.
All
So
right.
I'm going to sit back and eat some chocolate chips, but you're on, buddy.
I'm here. This one's a little short, but here we go. Office Space follows Peter Gibbons, Ron Livingston, a disillusioned software engineer at Initech, where he and his coworkers, Samir, dang it,
Did you? He makes a joke.
I looked it up and I was like, I'm going to say this right, and I knew. Here we are. So
It's like Aminajed. Aminajed.
Nagi Nanajar.
Yeah, that one's it.
Najar.
Nagina Najar.
AJ Nidu, and Michael Bolton, David Herman. Not that Michael Bolton, but this one's still white, but he likes rap and hip hop. Anyway, they are all stuck updating outdated banking software for the impending Y2K crisis. Their job? Go through thousands of lines of code to fix a 2-digit date problem. Their motivation? Practically non-existent. Peter hates his job, his boss, Bill Lumberg, Gary Cole, and his soul-sucking routine. When Initech brings in consultants, the Bobs, to assess the staff and make layoffs, morale plummets even further. Around this time, Peter's girlfriend, Anne, pressures him into seeing a hypnotherapist. But mid-session, the therapist dies of a heart attack, leaving Peter in a trance-like state of calm indifference. Freed from anxiety, Peter stops showing up to work, sleeps through the weekend, and casually asks out Joanna, Jennifer Aniston, a waitress at Tchotchke's. His brutal honesty and laid-back attitude surprisingly charms her. He eventually returns to the office where his complete lack of motivation somehow impresses the Bobs, while his hardworking friends, Michael and Samir, are on the chopping block. Peter gets offered a promotion. The unfairness of all this snaps Peter out of his apathy. He joins forces with Michael and Samir to get revenge on Initech by uploading a virus that skims fractions of a cent from the company transactions, pennies that would otherwise go unnoticed. But a decimal point error causes the virus to steal over $300,000 overnight. Panic sets in. They can't launder the money because they don't know how. Guilt-ridden, Peter writes a confession and returns the money via cashier's checks, slipping it under Lumberg's door late at night, ready to take the fall. But when he arrives at the office the next day, the whole building is on fire. Jump forward to Peter at his new job, a construction worker working alongside his neighbor, cleaning up the rubble of his former office building. That brings us to Milton, Stephen Root, the character this whole movie is actually based on. He's a mumbling, mistreated employee who has been quietly shoved further into obscurity throughout the film. Though he was fired years ago, a payroll glitch kept the checks coming until they didn't. After being robbed of his beloved red stapler and relocated to the basement, Milton finally snaps. He sets the building ablaze and vanishes. In the final scene, we see Milton sunbathing on a tropical resort, sipping a drink and mumbling about how bad the service is, implying that he took the money and disappeared into the sunset. Yeah.
That's a great recap.
Yeah, pretty straight to the point.
Did the job. As always, it's hard to make a bunch of jokes on jokes.
Yeah.
It's putting a hat on a hat, and we don't want to do that.
And then it's like, do I repeat the jokes that they made, or do I just, not do that?
Right. It's a line to
tote. That'd be great.
Fence to tote balance. What's
that's it? You're toting a fence?
Yeah, no, toting a line. Yeah. Barbed wire. English is as a second language, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I've discovered is sayings, like colloquial sayings, for a lot of English ones. I don't know them.
There's a term for when you mix colloquialisms and sayings together and you get them all mixed up. I don't remember what the term is, but there's like a term of when you get them blended together.
I feel like bringing that up without knowing what the word is might fall under the same category. Alrighty.
What'd you think?
I thought you were looking it up.
I am looking it up.
I was waiting for an answer before I got into it.
I don't know.
It's not a word.
No, there is. Don't judge me.
I will. I am judging you. I wish I had the Jeopardy theme on my little button thing.
It's not. Okay, so the thing that I keep getting is mixed metaphor, but that's not it. I mean, that explains it, but that's not.
It's kind of it.
Yeah, it's anyway.
Remind me, had you seen this before?
I had seen, again, another thing that I've seen like parts of, maybe because it was on TV.
It's been on TV a lot.
It's one that I'm familiar with, but I never actually had watched.
Got it.
The whole thing. I don't think.
Right. Okay. I think I was in high school when I watched it, and I don't think I understood it. I thought it was funny, but I didn't know why.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I was getting older, I was like, yeah, this movie's funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could still explain it. This movie was 1,000 times funnier than I've ever watched it this time around.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think I finally got all the jokes. Like, I think I understood them all.
Yeah.
I think I understood the depressingness of corporate America, the aimlessness of, and this is why I think this is very relevant today, is the company he was working for was Silicon Valley before Silicon Valley was Silicon Valley.
Right.
And at 99, like, it was on the cusp of it. Windows maybe had established over there already, but I feel like Silicon Valley became what it was in the late 2000 or like 10s.
Yeah.
So like 2009, 2011, and then the show about it came out soon after that. Actually, I don't even know when that came out. Silicon Valley show. 2014. So pretty close. Anyway, all that said, there's that. The the struggle of living a life that you're not happy with, and then the different opinions within that world. And we'll talk about that when we get into the characters. I just feel like I understood it so much more than I did when I was even in my early 20s.
Yeah.
Like an adult who had worked already.
You almost have to be a 30-year-old
right,
to understand the satire of
now
this.
I'm very curious. So 1967. So this movie was 1999. Oops, not times. 67. He was 32. Ron Livingston at the time. So we can assume 30s is the aim for the main character of Peter. So yeah, there does seem to be, like, you're past the age where, like, partying is expected, but you're also past the age where, well, by society standard, you're past the age where you should be established. Like, you shouldn't be still looking for what you want to do or finding out who you are. And Peter is in the midst of that.
Right.
Like, he is struggling through that. And some of the other characters are also struggling through that, but they have a different perspective of what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have what? Yes.
No, go ahead and finish with that.
And then I was like, and then you have all the old people. And no offense to them, but
the people who were raised to this is what you do. You do the job.
Right. You do the job. Understand your job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because now I'm really curious. 1999 minus. Okay. So Tom was 51.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he's one of those characters that he's not like top management. He's like middle management.
Yeah.
This is the job he expects to be at the rest of his career. Thus the, what happens to him. And they're the old guard, which, you know what? I might have a problem with, like, ageism a little bit, older people. Maybe it was also the 90s. There felt like there was a lot of old people in that office. Like, when they had the birthday scene or the meeting where everyone I was like, this is a technology company? What?
Yeah. Yeah. But also, like,
it's not, it was also not unbelievable. It was believable.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was also, like, they did have clients. They had things that weren't like computer engineers.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what Bolton's character was? Was he an engineer? Is that what they kept saying?
I think they were. Yeah, I think they were engineers.
They were referred to as engineers. That's what I have in my head, but now I'm, like, doubting whether that's what they actually said it was.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take us off the rails for a second. I found it.
Oh yeah.
They're called Malaphors.
Malaphors. That's made up.
No, every word is made up.
Exactly.
It's when you basically mix idioms or cliches together.
Idioms. That was the word I couldn't remember.
That's the one. So things like, we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. Let's see.
It's literally not literally. I sound like an idiot now, but it's the trope of that, like, hairline racism where they get someone who's not from America and then they have them say those things wrong.
Say the things wrong.
Yeah, and then they're like,
pull the rug over your eyes.
Yeah.
The weather can change on a dime.
On social media, have you ever seen the Basement Yard guys?
The Basement Yard guys.
I don't know
No,
I don't
think
know
so.
if this outs me as like a douchebag or not, but I do find they're two gentlemen from New York who have been best friends for a long time. One, I don't know if it's racist saying. One is just Italian. Like, I don't know that for sure, but he's Italian. Like New York Italian. The other one is of either Puerto Rican or Cuban descent. So his name's Frankie Alvarez. Joey Italiano. I don't know. But I know I'm awful right now. But I think Frankie is the one. He does that all the time. What is it called? A gore? A gore?
A gore? A malaphor.
A malaphor. He malaphors all the time. And it's very funny when he does it, like pull the rug over your eyes or whatever. And then Joey just stops. He goes, he like responds to what he's saying, but then also goes like, you did this today. Also, that's not a thing. And then moves on. And we should do that every time I do it, because I honestly don't know if they're real or not. I'm making it up. By the seam of my pants. That's a thing, right? That's a thing?
That's not a thing.
Oh. You can't say it like that? You can't use that one there? Anyway.
Oh, boy.
What'd you think of Office Space?
Office Space. Yeah, I think there's still a lot of relevant relatability in this.
Yeah.
Although I don't think everything aged as well.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the point.
Yeah.
I think it's used within the world. Like,
yeah, there are certain things.
The things that didn't age well, I think were supposed to be bad and offensive then.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing about satire is that sometimes you're like, that's offensive. And then you have to be like, wait.
Yes, it's supposed to be offensive.
I think it's supposed to be that way.
Yes.
Not to be actually that way, but to make commentary
right.
about that. But other than that, like, I would say similarly, like what I had seen of it before, I didn't fully understand.
Right.
So I understood it a lot better this time. Yeah, I think if you are in your 30s or older, you can relate to this movie. If you're in your 20s,
hold on. If you are working class in your 30s,
true.
I think this movie is probably the most relatable movie you could ever watch.
Yeah.
If you're rich, you're not going to get it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I just don't. Or you're going to agree with the wrong people.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah. Those Bob's got a point.
But yeah, like if you're in your 20s, give it a couple years.
Yeah.
Live experience of a crappy job and then watch this movie.
Yeah. I feel like if you feel at any point in your life that there has been misdirection, you've had relationship issues, or you've had like a bad job, and then I think the best part is, or you've been in a multitude of crummy situations and your support system has a good heart, but is fully failing you. You'll probably relate to this movie in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
because God bless his support system outside of Anne. She sucks. But the rest of his support system, I feel like they're trying their best, but they're not capable. Alrighty, so let's get into it. We have Peter as the main character, played by Ron Livingston.
Sorry, I just made a reference that like only two people.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would get it. Not a lot. That's a exaggeration. 80 people could probably in the whole world would get it. But maybe like 3 people actually think about that on a regular basis. And I think you and I both think of that anytime we hear the name Peter.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ron Livingston, I thought he did superb.
Yeah.
He played like a depressed character really well. And then the transition into, he really has a multitude in this movie.
Yeah.
Because the beginning, he's very depressed, just hates life to the point where he's talking to the what does the guy do? Hypnotist.
Oh yeah.
He's talking to the hypnotist. I was going to say therapist, but I was like, he wasn't a therapist.
Hypnotherapist.
The therapist or the hypno guy. And he was saying, every day I live is the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
Meaning that when you see me, that is the worst day of my life.
To
the point where the guy goes, oh, that sucks. So just wildly saddened and depressed by what he's given. And then having to act nonchalant about everything, at peace about everything. He did fantastic through that whole bit. And then toward the end, kind of waking out of that, feeling jealous, feeling nervous, feeling angry, feeling scared. He gets all of it. And he did a good job through it all. There wasn't a point where he did something where I was like, oh, that wasn't great. Or as far as like acting goes, like I thought he acted really well through the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I wouldn't, this is a hard comparison, but I'm just thinking of like other movies that we've watched, like The Truman Show, where most of the time the character's like totally in character. And then there's that one moment where you're like, well, that was the actor coming through.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel like that happened.
Yeah, it felt like Ron was portraying Peter the entire time. And it was truly believed that Peter was him. And I honestly haven't seen a lot of Ron Livingston's work, but I have seen a few where he plays a completely different character than what Peter was. And I've seen lots of interviews with Ron Livingston, and he's a very dynamic, emotional kind of person. And so seeing that range was really cool.
It was really interesting to have him, because there was a moment where I was questioning, like, does he ever actually fully wake up from being hypnotized? But obviously he starts feeling stress and feeling fear and feeling guilt and like feeling all of these things, which technically aren't directly related to the thing that he was hypnotized not to be feeling. But he does have a character change if we are assuming that when like things click and all of a sudden he's like, oh no, I can't be the apathetic guy anymore. And then the character that he is at the end, even though he hasn't really necessarily found his purpose, he feels better
Yeah.
about himself.
He's accepted his station in life.
Yeah.
That's he may not have found like the job or whatever it is, but he's found himself.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson of the story.
You gotta find yourself.
Exactly. Peter. So we have Peter. We have, apathetic Gen Xer, probably just like a caricature of Gen X as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And he, even within his relationship, he's apathetic in all aspects of his life. His work, his relationship with Anne, for the fact that like he knows she's cheating on him, but he just doesn't want to open that door.
Yeah, like everybody else sees it
Yeah.
except for him.
Yeah. Yes. Apparently, especially Lawrence. And you see him get hypnotized, which is a great gag.
Mm-hmm.
Just a all-around good way of bringing this change. And he then... So he's totally at peace, but it feels like the thing that has changed is he's no longer allowing the stuff that stresses him out to impact him. But he's still like apathetic.
Yeah, it's a different form of apathy, where before he's like, I don't care and I hate everything, to now it's just, I don't care, I'll just like let it bounce off,
Right.
kind of thing.
And he goes, essentially just avoids going to work for a while.
Mm-hmm.
While this is happening, his company is restructuring, probably about to have a bunch of layoffs, because the whole purpose of the company is about to be instituted.
Yeah.
Like, the company's not going to be useful in a year.
Right.
So they're starting to see the writing on the walls. And so they bring in consultants, and everyone is interviewing with the consultants. And then at the same time that Peter just strolls into the office is when he is having to meet with these consultants, the Bobs, played by John C. McGinley and Paul Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of lays out his apathy very honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But he also, it's funny because he really lays out what is wrong with the company.
Yeah.
And probably corporate America as a whole. But he states that he has 8 bosses.
Mm-hmm.
He has no motivation. Watch the movie, you get it. He then leaves. He falls in love. And then once he actually sees the depravity of corporate America, he snaps out of it.
Right.
Because now he sees that corporate America doesn't care in this, honestly, the same way he doesn't care. I think that's what kind of knocks him out of his apathy, is he's so much he doesn't care that when he sees what that looks like in a position of power, I think he goes like, oh, this isn't good. Oh, this isn't good. None of this is good.
Yeah, the fact that he goes in to that meeting and he's like, I don't care. Like, I'm just going to lay it out there and I'm probably going to lose my job because of it. And I don't really care about that. And then they're like, hey, you're manager material. And he's like, I'm the type of person that you're going to put into management. Yeah, that whole realization of I'm doing nothing, and I told you that I'm doing nothing, and you want to put me in charge. What does that say about the people who are in charge of me?
Right.
And what about these guys that actually are doing the work?
Right.
And are working hard.
Right.
Yeah.
And then builds a scheme with his buddies, takes advantage of the system, finds out they've done something wildly illegal, goes into ultimate panic mode, gets saved from consequence, and seems to just really accept his lot in life. Just accepts himself, and that he can be happy in, whatever job.
Yeah.
As he ends up working, I guess, construction afterwards. So we have this timeline for him of, bad apathy, don't care apathy, or like at peace apathy, seeing that don't care attitude expressed in a way that would hurt people that he loves. Tries to screw the company over, like a little bit of rebellion, fails.
Hey, it's not stealing. It's just taking those pennies from the tray.
Right.
And those pennies are for everyone.
Right. Yeah, I kind of like his story arc. I like how they flow from it. I like the points that change. They're supposed to be humorous.
Yeah.
I like
he essentially goes on the hero's journey of
interesting. Elaborate on that. You might have to look up hero's journey.
Yeah, let's just make sure that I'm
That's curious, because I wonder if Mike Judge was thinking about that as he was writing it.
Yeah, I mean, so the very basic version of the hero's journey is they go on an adventure, they overcome obstacles, and they return home transformed. But the more definitive version is they exist in an ordinary world. There's something that sets them off on their adventure. They refuse the call. There's a meeting with a mentor. They cross the threshold. There's tests, allies, and enemies. They approach the inmost cave. Oh gosh. Rewarding, seizing the sword, the road back, resurrection, the return. So that's like extreme, like journey. So it may not be the full hero's journey, but he does end the movie as a different character, but he goes through that arc of like, he doesn't really care about stuff. Then he has it's kind of a weird inciting incident, but he gets hypnotized, and then that turns him into this apathetic guy who changes everything that he does, to just not care anymore. And then that sets everything off in the chain reaction.
Right.
And then there's a point where he becomes the worst version of himself, and he kind of loses everything. And then,
which is when he starts to come out of his hypnotize, like after they do the scam at the barbecue.
Yeah.
That's the worst version of himself.
Yeah. And then like he pushes Joanna away. He pushes, like, he does things that like his friends don't quite trust him anymore. And he's just like, whatever, it's fine. And he brings them down with him as well. And then when he has that realization of like, oh, I've messed up, and the way that I've messed up is affecting everybody even worse than how they would have been affected before I did all of this.
Right.
I need to do better. And then he as this puts it, he seizes the sword and he takes the road back.
Which is just taking responsibility for what he's
taking
done.
responsibility for what he did, and then like does that action, and then he ends as a different person than he was at the beginning of the movie. And so like it's not exactly the hero's journey, but it's
pretty close.
It's a framework that he lands in, I would say.
Yeah.
Where sometimes we get those characters where it's like the journey is about the story that's happening, or like Indiana Jones, he's not a different person at the end of any of those movies. He's still Indiana Jones, but
he still doesn't believe in ghosts, goblins, or God, and he's seen all of them.
And he's seen all of them. And so he like that one is about the world and the story that's happening around him, where this one, like we see Peter be one way, and then by the end of the movie he's different. And I feel like if that didn't happen, it would have been a less satisfying story, I think.
Yeah. I think the roadmap matches. It'll be fun to talk about that more as we go through the characters and go like, who's this?
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston as Joanna. I thought she was a great counter to everything Peter, was doing, and to the point where she was the rock of like, how do we normalize what you're going through, or like take what you're going through and put it through a normal person's lens and go like, maybe some of this doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And she was really good about that. And then I do like her own moments of, standing up for herself and going against the I don't know, capitalist whatever of tchotchkes, and having her little outburst where she flipped everyone off. But I liked her. I thought she was really good.
Yeah. The only thing that I was a little bit like, was the way when Peter is like, hey, I'm going to go get a table for us. You can join me if you want to. And then she comes over and like things seem to be melding okay. She's still a little bit like, I'm not so sure about this. And then it's just like, I don't think I'm going to go back to work. And she's like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't like it. I'm not going to do it. Like,
I think she thought he was joking.
Yeah, but it comes off a little bit of like, if I feel like if somebody went on a date with somebody today and that guy said, I don't think I'm going to go to work. Like I'm never going to go back. I feel like the person would be like,
be a red flag.
That's a red flag. And I'm not coming over to watch Kung Fu with you later.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing that I was like, that's kind of strange. But yeah, and maybe we could watch Kung Fu. I love Kung Fu.
I mean, if you love Kung Fu, it forgives a lot of sins.
Forgives a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah. But she wasn't in it as much as you'd think she would be considering her credit, but, so moving on, we'll kind of put them together. But Michael Bolton and Samir.
Mm-hmm.
David Herman, if you didn't know, does voice acting, was in King of the Hill, does a lot of voices in Futurama.
Okay.
Yeah. Just an oddball, especially if you look on IMDb.
He's the voice of Scruffy.
Yeah.
Okay. And Mr. Fran from Bob's Burgers?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, he does do a lot.
He gets around. Anyway, what fun characters. So we have Michael Bolton, who is a white guy who is very into like hip hop culture.
Yeah.
To the point where he knows that it's weird.
Yeah.
And then Samir, who, I think kind of lives that like token person of color position in the character stream, but it's just very funny for like the jokes about him are very funny in that he just doesn't understand why no one understands him.
Mm-hmm.
I like that perspective a lot of, for an American, he has an objectively difficult name to pronounce, but he's just like, I don't know why. I don't understand. I don't why people struggle with this.
Yeah.
But I think they both have like a decent heart of trying to help out their friend, and they just get tied into the worst situation.
Yeah.
I think that sums up them completely.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite, I think like, yeah, I think that my favorite joke that is made with them is we get the whole movie, everybody's being like, Michael Bolton, like, are you related to the singer? And it's this whole thing. He's annoyed by it. He expresses that. And then there's the slow motion scene where they're like handing off the virus and doing all of that. And they're looking kind of proud of themselves. And one of the ladies walks by and you can see her mouth, "Hi, Michael Bolton."
Right.
and he just looks like, has the look of disgust over his face. And it's just this shift. And it's like perfectly timed.
He breaks the fourth wall.
It's so
he
good.
Looks straight.
Does he look into the camera?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
He sees her. He looks really annoyed, and then he just right into camera, just with the.
I think I started laughing when his face changed, that I didn't notice him looking at the camera. But.
Yeah, he has like he just smelled something bad. He's just like.
It's good.
Yeah. I enjoyed both of them. I thought they were really fun. But as far as characters go, they're there to assist the hero.
Yeah.
They're I hate to say it. They're the droids. They're the droids.
Yeah.
Or Gimli and Legolas.
Mm-hmm.
They're there to help. They're not the main thing. They have their moments, but the attention is still over there.
So are we saying that Michael is R2D2 and Samir is C3PO?
Samir's a little neurotic. And Michael's sassy. So yeah, I think that's right. I actually think that's right. Isn't there a joke in Star Wars where C-3PO is basically like, you can't use that kind of language around?
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's actually very apt.
I think originally R2D2 was supposed to speak English and he cursed a lot, and they were like, nope, just make him beeps and boops.
Beeps and boops. Lawrence, the neighbor to Peter, and Diedrich Bader. I gotta be 100% honest. The most grimy of characters, kind of my favorite.
I know. I
think he's
Diedrich,
oh yeah, go for it.
I was just gonna say Diedrich is almost always a delight whenever he shows up in something.
It's weird how perfect he is.
Yeah.
Like there's never a point where I go, I think this movie is carried by wonderful acting.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could tell it's low budget, all of that stuff. The acting carries it.
Mm-hmm.
And Diedrich Bader is not in any way, shape, or form trying to be funny. He is just playing an absurd character.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's playing it perfect. Lawrence is my favorite.
And he should be this like
you should hate him.
That
You
makes
should dislike him.
But he's just the most like supportive.
He's super endearing, and I don't understand why. Like, we should dislike him for the fact that he is introduced by telling Peter to change it to a channel because they're having like what were they called when the an infomercial for breast implants. And so they have
was it breast implants or was it I thought it was like checking like
breast cancer. Is it self?
Yeah.
Either way, there were breasts on public access TV.
Yeah, and he shows that he's like, just thought you'd like to see it.
Right. Which is just like a dirt baggy kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
But somehow I'm like, I mean, yeah, that's him. That's Lawrence, you know? Like you just got like a really dumb cousin that has a heart of gold, but he's just kind of weird sometimes. Lawrence. That's Lawrence. Honestly, I think he has the best lines too. What would you do if you had $1 million? 2 chicks at the same time. It's like, I don't think you're understanding the prompt. And I do love that part of the reason that joke is very funny is the follow-up to it where he goes, 2 chicks at the same time. I think that much money would be able to put that together. Like, he's really thinking the logistics on it.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's improv or written, and both answers make it so good.
Yeah, because whoever wrote that, like, bravo.
Yeah.
Or if he made it up on the spot,
bravo. Because it's so quick. And I know it's movies, but it just feels so funny. I also love Lawrence. Has anyone ever on a Monday? Has anyone ever said you got a case of the Mondays? He's like, no. Shit, no. Every time he says that, it kills me, and I don't know why. It feels like his response is, that was the first time he heard that. He had never read the script. That is the first time he heard that, and he's just so appalled at the idiom,
the suggestion of it.
Yeah, I love him. I think he's great.
Yeah, and then when they're like coming up with their plot to do the virus, and they're like, we're just gonna keep it between the 3 of us, and he said, don't worry, I won't tell anybody, through the wall.
Yeah. And
they're like, who's that? He's like, oh, don't worry
about him. But he's kind of like the wizard, like just the voice, the advice, because all of his advice is pretty sound advice. Like he's not giving, as a ridiculous character as he is, a lot of the stuff he's saying is very cemented in reality.
Yeah.
He just says it in a very funny way. Did you I don't know, did you ever see the 90s Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah.
He was the guy, the kid in it.
Yeah.
I think that was my first introduction to
I think every time I see him, I'm like, oh, hey, he's from the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, no. Every time I see him, I get a lot of nostalgia because being a awkward, overweight kid, there were not a ton of people. I've said this before, not a ton of people to look up to, especially once I got classes. And I loved Drew Carey. And I watched all the Drew Carey shows, and he's in it, and he's very funny in that as well. I was so alone. Anyway, moving on, just because it's real quick on it. Milton, he's just the butt of the joke. He is there to be a joke. Stephen Root absolutely destroyed like he was so good at this character, created such an awkward, weird character, and could not see.
Right.
With those glasses on, he could not see. So there's a scene where he's trying to see Bill. Bill isn't there. The secretary leaves, and so then he goes into his office to find his stapler. Stephen Root runs into the counter, like bumps it hard, and that was because he could not see it.
Because those glasses were so thick.
Yes, that's commitment, man. That's commitment.
Yeah. Did you watch the animated shorts?
Yeah.
Such a different character.
Yeah.
From the original animated shorts to this character.
Right.
Which I thought was really interesting. Also, like, I think he did such a great job. I felt a little uncomfortable with his character, though. Like, seeing it this time, of like, it translates to someone who is neurodivergent and getting ignored for whatever his experience is. And I don't think they intended it that way. I think they were just like, hey, make him a weird character. But today it translates into, I
actually think it still works. Because I think maybe even back then it was still doing that.
Yeah.
Because I think ultimately, pardon me, I think ultimately it shows the depravity of the company.
Right.
And that companies have taken advantage of, like, we can go ahead and say it to today's standards because we understand so much more. He probably was a neurodivergent character. Like, he probably was. And that is exactly what was happening to neurodivergent people.
Yeah.
In the workplace forever.
Right.
Like, that was nice. Like, if they had done this movie based in 1650 and we had a Milton character, they would have sent him to a psych ward where they would have basically been torturing him for the rest of his life.
Right.
So, like, we as people and in America have not had a good relationship with people who see the world or respond in the world differently than what is looked at societally as neurotypical.
Yeah.
So I get your uncomfortability, but there's almost like,
no, I think you're right. I think it's still,
there's purpose behind it, and because there's purpose behind it, I don't see it as uncomfortable.
I think it's just one of those, like we mentioned before, in satire.
Yeah,
sometimes
it's hard to see that
there is an uncomfortableness because of the commentary that's being made. And so I think that's just what it was, is that, like, it was the line of, are we laughing at that?
Totally fair.
Or are we laughing at this craziness of the situation?
Totally.
And so
fair.
that was the one that was like one of the ones that I had to kind of go back and forth on in my brain, of like, how are we translating this character? Because I think that is the fine line of, are we making fun of the person, or are we making commentary on the situation?
Right. And I do think the commentary, that's an interesting, I don't know if I was ever really laughing at him particularly. I thought he was an interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
I think his response to the world is very funny.
Right.
I don't think his speech pattern or whatever it is. I did like the radio conversation.
Oh yeah.
It's like, like, I'm allowed to have the radio on, I can do this.
Yeah.
and Peter just kind of not knowing how to deal with it. He's just like, no, it's, it's okay. It's whatever.
Or
when he's
him
on the
calling,
phone. Yeah.
like talking on the phone, and then it like pans over to Peter being like, and it's him talking to him, telling him about his day. And he's like, okay, great. I gotta go.
Yeah. Those parts are very funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I've met many a people like that. I don't know if they were neurodivergent or not, but I've definitely met a lot of people who respond to other people very similarly to Milton. But I thought Stephen Root was fun and very into, like, he did. I think what makes him great at it is he's never doing anything to play for laughs.
Mm-hmm.
He is just playing the character.
Yeah.
And it's good. Like, he's good at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think basically everybody, like, they did the character.
Right.
There was nothing that was like so over the top. Well, there was a couple things that were over the top, but like there was nobody that was like going out of their way. I don't know how to describe that better, but it just felt like everybody was like, this is how this character acts in this world.
It was really well done in that in this comedy, no one was playing for laughs.
Mm-hmm.
They were playing it serious in this world, and it's not like a Will Ferrell movie or a Jim Carrey movie where they're playing for laughs.
Yeah.
They're working to make something funny.
Yeah.
And these guys are just doing as the movie calls for, and it ends up being funny because it's poking fun at, it's satire, like you said, like it's poking fun at a lot of things that we understand in reality, and they're just kind of dismantling it in a really clever way.
Yeah.
Bill Lumber, Gary Cole. Gary Cole did great. I don't know how I feel, like, after having all of that conversation of all of these people playing it straight, there's a little bit of me that's like, man, I don't know who would talk like that. And then I've heard people in the last 10 years who talk just like that. And I go like, well, he really captured something, because I hate him.
Yeah. No, there was, I feel like every boss, well, I guess you don't really hate Tom, but Bill and the boss at Tchotchke's, you're just like,
yeah,
I can't stand these guys.
Yeah, because they're not. It's a wonderful interpretation of like bad bosses, because Bill brings nothing to the table.
Right.
Not a single thing. And like the manager at Tchotchke's, everything he said was nothing. It's like, I had like a borderline all out argument with someone once who was, higher up. And ultimately I had to tell them, I'm like, you have to tell me what you want me to do, not what I think. Because if you're asking me what I think, I am always going to give you an answer you don't like. But if you want me to do something you want me to do, I will do it. I will gladly do it.
Right.
But if you keep giving suggestions and then go, what do you think? I'm going to tell you what's wrong with your suggestion. So don't ask that. If that's not what you want, don't ask that.
Yeah.
And so that's like the same thing with what Joanne was dealing with, where he was saying, some people want to wear the bare minimum, but we want you to express yourself.
Yeah.
She's like, so you want me to wear more? No, let me say this again.
Yeah.
Which the manager was Mike Judge, wearing a wig.
Yep.
Yeah. Bill sucks. He's awful, and he nailed it. Gary Cole nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Figured out how to play just the worst boss ever.
Yeah.
And there's a point where Peter has a misunderstanding and believes that Joanne has had sex with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And his nightmare is so funny.
It's crazy
because it somehow makes you hate the guy more. And it's like, no, this is just a dream.
Yeah.
It's awful. Yeah. Terrible. Anyway, there's a lot of other funny side characters. The Bobs are really funny.
Mm-hmm.
The bosses all suck. Tom is just a really funny character.
Mm-hmm.
Just a guy who's clearly technology and the company has evolved past him.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees the writing on the wall, and the whole time it's just him like battling that.
He's the kind of guy who like used to work at a factory.
Yeah, and now he's working at this
now he's
company.
like in over his head, but he has management experience. And so I'm the guy who takes the customer feedback to the engineers. Do you talk to the customer or the clients or the customers? No, my secretary does.
Yeah. The engineers don't know how to talk to people. I've got people skills. Another character I really like, even though he was very short-lived. Dr. Swanson.
Yeah.
The hypnotist. Michael McShane. He used to be a regular or a semi-regular on the British Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah.
And I used to watch those reruns all the time, so I would see him constantly. And honestly, honest to goodness, he is such a good actor because when he is having that heart attack, you believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I know they add sweat and everything, but like what he does with his hands, like he like jitters his hands, he's like struggling to talk, all of that stuff. He does it so well. It's such a good performance. And I keep saying it, but like the acting's really good in this movie. And from the top cast to, the features, they're just really great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see who else. Orlando Jones makes a little feature in it. He's a wonderful, wonderful character. I love Orlando Jones. I just love the way he talks in the beginning where he's trying to convince them, and then he just takes the facade off. He's like, look, I'm not really attracted. And then it just leads to such a good joke. Anyone else that you saw that you were like, oh, that's a great character? I hated Drew. Drew's a piece of shit. I hate him.
The worst.
He's the worst. He's that embodiment of just undeserved confidence and the need, the desperation to live out just
he's
toxic
like
masculinity. Yeah. It's just, but it's like he has to live out this toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
But no one wants it. No one's there for it. No one likes him. But he thinks he's liked. He thinks that everything he's saying is like everyone is on the same page.
Yeah.
And he's gross. He's why I don't like talking to men. Because if I get cornered in a situation where I have to talk to someone like that, I'm like, sorry, man, I got diarrhea. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta go take care of this. I can't talk to you anymore. Yeah.
So you could use a Malafor there, and you could say something like, "I left my diarrhea in the oven."
I left my diorama in the oven. I gotta go get it before it burns. Yeah. Alrighty. So, great characters. Honestly, great writing. Just getting the little things that, the little things that we in life deal with, and really pointing the camera at it. So, like the traffic jam in the beginning, just the desperation to get to work. Where you're probably not going that far, but you're just dealing with it. Where he changes lanes, lane stops, the lane he was in starts moving, he changes lanes, it stops. It's like that happens to everyone.
It'd be like that. Yeah.
But then the great joke of having the elderly man who is struggling to walk just like outpace him completely. The things in work that are annoying and bothersome. So the character Nina, who's the thank you for calling in attack. Hold please. Thank you for calling. And it's like, oh, I've been in an office where I've heard, oh man, that is the worst. And no, and I don't think it's like where someone sees her in a negative light. It's just she has her office voice and she's just doing her job. But when you hear that on repeat forever, it's just the worst thing possible.
Yeah.
Everything that happens at tchotchkes, it's like, yeah, I've been in that world where you just get a waiter who's just too excited. Like, I just
calm down, dude.
Yeah. At the end of it where, he like, hey, get a room, lovebirds. And then he flips them off. And then she's just like, God, I hate that guy. It's like, yeah, that's how it feels. Absolutely. Yeah, I love the writing. I thought the pacing was really good. I thought the soundtrack was really good. The songs they picked, I think the gangster rap is very funny. Like it fits so well, yet doesn't fit all at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
But then also the very like trumpet heavy songs. I think it's the peanut vendor in the beginning, and then there's another. It ends with a very trumpet heavy song. For some reason, trumpet and comedy, they work together. They just sound good together,
Yeah.
I just really like the soundtrack. I also believe that several of the tracks are the Ghetto Boys, and this introduced me to the Ghetto Boys, and I've listened a few times. I enjoyed it. I don't listen now because I shouldn't. Any comments on those points?
No, I think I concur with all of that. I would say that there were a couple of scenes that the pacing felt a little off.
Yeah, I think that's true.
And some of that is it's the 90s.
Yeah.
And
it's the 90s. It's low budget. They were doing it kind of quick.
Yeah. And then there's also the like, hey, maybe linger a little bit longer to make it awkward.
Right.
Like we want there to be a little bit of cringe in what we're experiencing. And then I think there were some scenes that they tried to do maybe if we stay on it longer, it becomes funny again. I think and maybe it's just how I'm used to pacing, the scene where they're beating up the printer.
Oh,
Like, it's funny, and then it gets to a spot where you're like, okay, like they're still going, and then it's funny again when he just starts like punching it.
yeah.
He just loses it and starts punching it. But there's like a segment, and there was like, okay, like you could have like heightened this part up a little bit more.
That might be you being used to be. It's also a risk that, you know, Mike Judge is taking, because
Right.
I think deep down he knows, he's like, this is going too long, but it will be funny again.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing of like, sometimes you have to sit a little bit longer,
right,
to bring it back around. And so it was just one of those things where it was like, it maybe could have been tighter, but would the him losing it and just throwing the bat and starting to punch the thing, would that have been as funny if they tightened it up a little bit?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't think there was any like, from a cinematography perspective, there wasn't anything that was necessarily mind blowing about it.
No.
But I think it was well done.
Yeah, they did really well, all things considered. You know, like the apartment. I think they filmed that in an apartment.
Yeah.
And, you know, filmed it in a way that it felt pretty good. In a tech. I didn't ever really fully understand the layout based on the cinematography.
Yeah.
And, you know, tchotchkes look like a Fridays or whatever.
Yeah.
They look like restaurants.
A very subtle joke that happened at the very end.
Ooh.
When Milton, well, prior to that, Peter puts the thing under the door. And he walks away, and then he dives back and tries to get it back. And then the next day, Milton's like, well, I'm going to get my stapler back. And he just opens the door and walks
unlocked
through. Like, it was unlocked the whole time.
Which is so good. It's such a good joke. And it takes like a minute or two for the joke to land.
Yeah.
Which, you know, God bless him. That was the whole joke. Like how to write a joke like that is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Because he's basically going, all right, here's the setup. Now we got to let a bit of time pass before the payoff.
Yeah.
Which, good job, Mike. What was it? There was only one thing that felt visually kind of off, and it was the fire. They definitely burned a building. But when they're panning through the fire, I don't think any of it is CGI per se, but it's like, it's like pre-filmed fire that they're putting in front of the camera as it's scrolling by, and then all of that. So like some of that just looked weird. It was hard to like gauge the,
like they masked some of it on there.
But again, low budget. That's just being nitpicky. Man, we zoom by when we like the film. I got nothing real to complain about.
We talk about Malifaux again.
Malifaux. You know what we can say? I will say I do have a like a negative about Mike Judge, in that I don't know if it's true nowadays, but I know it was true 20 years ago during this time probably. He was friends with Alex Jones, the propagandist son of a bitch who said that Sandy Hook was a lie and all that stuff. They were friends because they both lived in Austin. So it's like, there's that. But other than that, I don't know. It's funny. It was good. It was good. Let's go to the thing the fans were waiting for the whole time.
What's that?
Quotes. God, this movie's so funny. It has so many good quotes. Let's see. Just the whole thing with the Bobs is great. The thing is, Bob, it's not that I'm lazy. It's just, I don't care. Don't care. It's a problem with motivation. All right. Now, if I work my ass off and Initech ships out a few extra units, I don't see another dime. So where's the motivation? And here's something else, Bob. I have 8 different bosses right now. I beg your pardon? 8 bosses. 8? 8, Bob. So that means that when I make a mistake, I have 8 different people coming to me and telling me about it. That's my only real motivation, is not to be hassled. And the fear of losing my job. But you know, Bob, that will only make someone work hard enough just not to get fired. And I find that whole conversation very funny because I'm like, that's the spirit of it. That's the whole plot of the damn movie.
Yeah.
And how the Bobs respond to him. Like what's his name? Crap. I forgot his name. The Scrubs guy.
Oh yeah.
John C. McGinley.
That's it.
He's the one that's like 8 bosses. Like, excuse me? Pardon me? I beg your pardon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like his response is so funny. What's the one where Tom is like, well, you have a mat and it has a bunch of conclusions that you jump to. And then Michael is just like, that is the worst idea I've ever heard. Oh, geez. Looks like you've been missing a lot of work. I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob. Not a lot of like this. I will say this movie doesn't have like a ton of one-liners. It's a lot of setup and payoff.
Yeah.
And you know, the payoff is really funny, and a lot of it has to do with the response. Oh, I do like the after Peter asks Lawrence, and then he's like, well, what about you? What would you do? And then Peter goes, besides 2 chicks at the same time? Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Peter, nothing, huh? Peter, I would relax. I would sit on my ass all day. I would do nothing. And then Lawrence, well, you don't need $1 million to do nothing. Man, take a look at my cousin. He's broke. Don't do shit. I feel like he's endearing because he's the only character that is like just outlandish in every way. But you can really stop and think about and be like, I know someone like that.
Yeah, but he's also somehow the most down to earth.
Yeah.
Like he's outlandish, but also like just a guy.
Yeah. Just a dude. So after Peter and Joanna have their fight, and after Michael and Samir both get mad at him and all that stuff, Peter is just like wallowing in it all. Knocks the door. He's like, Lawrence, you awake? Lawrence, yeah. You want to come over? No, thanks, man. I don't want you fucking my life up too. That line killed me. I was laughing so hard. He's just so like he's the one guy who sees everything and is just like, I'm gonna play my cards as right as possible.
How did I forget that? That's so funny. Oh,
okay. It's not
know.
it. We make no jokes to mental illness. We don't think any jokes in any way, shape, or form. But there is one where they say it, and it's not the fact that they say it; it's the response to it. Where Peter's like talking about the hypnotherapist. He goes, "Hey, he helped Anne lose a lot of weight," and Smear's like, "Peter, she's anorexic," and he goes, and Peter goes, "Yeah, the guy's really good." And I'm like, he doesn't see it. He doesn't see it at all. He's kind of dumb. But his response just caught me off guard. Like, yeah, the guy's really good. Oh man. All the things with the fax machine, all the things with the computers going wrong, is just very good. What is it? The PC load letter. He's like, what the hell's that? Or when he's trying to shut down the thing and it just comes up with another like warning. He's like, what is that? What?
Oh yeah.
It's like back then computers, there was no standard. Like 5 things would happen. He'd be like, I don't know what 2 of those things were, but I hope it turns on when I turn it on.
We had mentioned it earlier, but the Milton talking about him being able to listen to the radio. I was told that I could listen to the radio at a reasonable volume from 9 to 11. I told Bill, and if Sandra is going to listen to her headphones while she's filing, then I should be able to listen to the radio while I'm collating. So I don't see why I couldn't have why I should have to turn down the radio, because I'm enjoying listening at a reasonable volume from 9 to 11.
Okay, Milton. Okay. I don't know if it was meant to be a joke or if like Ron Livingston did it or if it was told to him to do, but at the very end where he goes, this isn't so bad, huh? Making bucks, getting exercise, working outside, and then Lawrence goes, fucking A. And then then Peter goes, fucking A. Just how different they were. Just like, whoa, you really made that not sound as good. For whatever reason, this line made me laugh. Maybe it was the delivery, but Bill is giving the announcement. He's like, oh, and remember, next Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, you know, if you want to go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans. And just how he's delivering it, like he like announces it as it's like a big deal, but even like halfway through the thing, he's like, I don't care. I don't care.
You know how every once in a while when we're looking at quotes, we find that one,
I need to go to the
least helpful quote of all.
Yeah, hold on. Let me scroll down.
At the very bottom. It's not even a quote. Wait,
I'm gonna mark that as helpful.
Swanson. 6 people marked it as helpful, 13 people marked it as not helpful because it says Dr. Swanson, and then in bracket says dies of a heart attack halfway through the hypnotism session. That's not a quote.
That's not a quote, but that's so good.
I like that part of our going over quotes is the finding the weirdest things on IMDb.
This one has one like thumb down, and I don't necessarily know why it has a thumb down, but it's when he has when he's dreaming and he's like getting prosecuted for the crime, and it's the judge. He goes, Peter Gibbons, you've led a trite and meaningless life, and you're a very bad person.
Yeah.
I'm like, why'd you vote that down? It's funny because it takes what Samir says. and puts it into this.
Yeah.
It's perfect. That's a great nightmare. Anyway, there's lots of great. Oh man. I know I said it earlier, but I still stand by no. Has anyone ever told you got a case of the Mondays? No. Oh wait, what's the no, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that. I think it's the delivery. It has to be the delivery. It's just so funny. All right. I can't. Oh yeah. Can't believe what a bunch of nerds we are. We're looking up money laundering in the dictionary. You good?
I'm good.
I good. And now we go to the review rewind, where we take a look at a positive review and a negative review, and we see where we fall. Metacritic has this at 68%. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 81%. Tomato Audience has it at 93%. And IMDb Audience has it at 7.6. I will say, I feel like Metacritic might be closer to accurate as far as the critical review percentage of positive reviews, because I think they both might have the issue, but I do think that Rotten Tomato has a lot more modern or more recent reviews because the film came out in 1999, so we've had its 20th anniversary and 25th anniversary in the last 6 years. So there have been reasons to revisit it. So that's where that might be skewed, but I did try to find reviews that were from the time. But I will say, of the low scores, there weren't too many like super low scores. There were a lot of in the middle. So I'd say it's like generally favored, or, definitely not overtly disliked. So for whatever that's worth, if you would go ahead and read the positive review.
The Los Angeles Times gave it a 90. They said, bristling with shrewd observation, inspired humor, and all-around smarts, Office Space is a winner about a guy who's beginning to feel like a loser.
What a review.
What a review.
Have you ever watched South Park?
No.
No?
Nope.
Oh. It's good. But there's a older episode where they're on an airplane and they're watching a movie at a time where everyone watched the same movie. And they're doing like trailers, and all the trailers are like really bad, whatever they are. But it was making commentary of like the 2000s comedies where instead of having the cool "in a world" kind of voice, it was like Rob Schneider is a normal guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like this review was that voice.
Yeah.
Office Space is like a winner about a guy who's beginning to feel like a loser. It's like a really excited Casey Kasem.
Yeah.
I'm Casey Kasem. And now I'm going to always read my reviews in Casey Kasem's voice. That's not true. I'm not going to do that because I can't hold it. I can start an impression decently well. I cannot hold it. Unless it's like a Southern drawl for like an old man. I can hold that forever. I don't know why.
Yeah. I think we experienced that when we did what movie was it? where you tried to
When I tried to do like
Home Alone.
Home Alone, where I
yeah.
tried to do Joe Pesci and then I lost it.
Yeah.
I think what I was doing was Joe Pesci, like I was doing an impression of Hank Azaria trying to do an impression of Joe Pesci. I think that fits. All right. So this is a 40 from the New York Times. It has the loose jointed feel of a bunch of sketches packed together into a narrative that doesn't gather much momentum. Its conspiratorial eager beavers are so undeveloped that they could hardly even be called types. You don't care for a second what happens to them. I mean, the jokes do feel like sketch comedy, but
Yeah.
don't all comedies kind of feel like that at some point?
I think that's I'm gonna start with I don't completely disagree. I don't think this person is off base with what they're saying. Because I mean it is the Milton sketches were just small shorts,
Right,
that are placed in the middle, like throughout this movie. When you see Milton, that's basically a repeat of the animated short that's happening in live action.
Right.
And so it does kind of feel a little bit like, oh, we have a bunch of sketches set in this office space, and we're going to like, here's this sketch that happens, and then we're going to cut to another one. So I do see that. I don't think that it's completely disconnected. But like, I can get how someone would not be fully invested in the people.
Yeah.
Because it's not necessarily one that draws you into the people. It's just more of like, here's the commentary.
There's only one person who's getting character development.
Yeah.
Michael Bolton, Samir, Milton, even Joanna, they're not getting any character development.
No, they're just there.
Yeah, they're part of the arc of Peter, who has a ton of development.
Mm-hmm.
And it all connects. Like, it all has a decent timeline.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say that it's one that you necessarily fear for them. Like when they end up taking a lot more money than they were supposed to, and then it's this, like, they're like scared about what's going to happen. As a viewer, you are not necessarily feeling that like, oh no, what's going to happen to him? You're like, okay, what are these idiots going to do next?
Right. But I guess that's part of the genre.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think I don't agree with the score that this guy gave it, or this person gave it. But I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, I guess I get that. This also feels like what we talked about in the beginning, where we were saying this movie is fitting to kind of certain kind of life events.
Right.
And if you don't have those life events, this movie doesn't necessarily connect.
Mm-hmm.
This reviewer feels like they didn't connect with it.
Right.
And it adds to the idea that movie reviewers are disconnected people who don't understand normal people.
Mm-hmm.
So, what grade do you give Office Space?
I'm feeling. Is that what I'm feeling? I think I'm feeling a B.
I think so too. I'm not I don't disagree with that at all. It's not a life-changing movie. Like it's not a movie that makes me rethink life. But I do think it does make commentary and makes me feel seen as like I have lived those experiences.
Yeah.
And I see the failures and the folly of a lot of these things. But you know, I didn't cry. I didn't have an emotional movement where like my life changed. I think the satire is fantastic. I think the commentary is great. I think the humor's great. I think it's a good movie overall, but
yeah,
it's not like the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. And
I can understand why, if you didn't like it, I can see why you wouldn't.
Yeah, I think if you didn't get the satire, I could see how this would be more of a C movie.
Yeah, yeah. But I did get it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a B.
Yeah.
It
kind of feels weird giving it a B compared to some of the other movies where we're like, this movie is like really good, but like
it's still a good movie.
It somehow lands in there, but it is also not like some of the other ones that we've given B's to.
And I think that's the hard part about comedy, because a comedy it did its job.
Mm-hmm.
It spoke about humanity. It spoke about society. It made fun of it. It did a good job at making fun of it. It had the hero's journey in it. It had a character. The character had the full timeline of development. It made you laugh. It made you think. It did all of those things. Mm-hmm. It was just wrapped, it was just written in a book with like streamers and clown paint and not, a serious cover or whatever it is. Comedy is hard because comedy can be good, but it is objectively not. It's just a different form of art. Like, and so I think for its form of art, it did an excellent job.
Mm-hmm.
Like it, and I give it a lot of credit. It stands the test of time. Like it's still as relevant as can be, and the things that feel uncomfortable are still the things that were uncomfortable back then.
Yeah.
And they did a good job. Like it really is relatable even 26 years later.
Yeah. We didn't really talk about it, but the topic of like disgruntled workers,
right?
In the 90s, there were events that happened that this was super referencing,
right?
But I feel like that's still, while we haven't necessarily had that a big event like that happen in a workplace, it still feels like,
I guess
people understand it.
I think one, I don't think corporations have gotten better. I think they've gotten worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people have created methods of responding to it that maybe that don't end in people getting hurt.
Yeah.
So, we've had the advent of quiet quitting.
Mm-hmm.
Or we have, older generations talking about how our generations don't work as hard and blah, 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 blah. But in reality, it's like, well, considering that wages have not gone up, most people our age have to have two jobs who are working, instead of 40 hours a week, we're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week just to make ends meet, rather than what it was even at that time where, it was one of those things where like, I didn't pay attention to it, but it is something to comment on, that he's 30, even in the 90s, where he and Lawrence are like working class and they're living in these apartments. And, Tom, who
Oh yeah.
seems as though he's the most incompetent of all of them,
Mm-hmm.
like has a house
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. And it just, I don't know. I don't know if they were, I don't know if they were making that commentary or not, or if that was just written as like, well, this is what I assume it would be like.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that in itself is its own commentary, because the reality is that's still how it is,
Mm-hmm.
Thus making it very relatable. And I think that maybe that, like, what was the old term that they used? Going postal.
Yeah.
That has maybe is not in commonplace, because it did happen a lot. Not a lot. That's an exaggeration, but like it felt like yearly there were violent events that were happening because of disgruntled employees and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There could be still, but we are so inundated with violent acts that happen, school shootings, mass shootings, genocides, whatever it might be, that maybe we just don't know about those moments. I mean, what would be, because I don't even know if it's like disgruntled employees per se. We have more strikes than maybe we had in a long time. There's lots of union busting happening nowadays, so there's a lot of worker issues happening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that United Healthcare CEO guy, like, that's the last big thing I can think of like, but that's a disgruntled like customer per se, I guess you could say. Oh man, I really don't know the last time of like something that
like
would have
that.
been
Yeah.
like that. I think we have had more of like quiet quitting and things where,
or things like there's the, what is it, the Reddit that's the malicious compliance or whatever. Where
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it in the most
annoying way possible.
Yeah.
That might be, and whether that's like a millennial thing or not, because interesting that we like watch this movie and we're talking about this, because like saying and like a lot, I think. Anyway, like it was on TikTok. It was this older lady, maybe Gen X or maybe a little older, but she was like, I don't know if she was an owner, but she was a boss.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about getting her young workers to work like a full day or something. And she was saying they were millennials, but then she was saying they were like 25 or something. They were younger. And I was like, that's not our generation. But Generation X had that apathy where they weren't doing awful. Maybe their jobs weren't great, but money-wise, they were doing okay. But there was this apathy to what we saw them as, what the outside saw their generation as. And I think we've come into this new world where I think people are trying to position our generation in that same kind of thing, in that same kind of umbrella. And the statistics and the reality don't actually back that up. So we have our struggle, our office space is that, everyone's going to work their ass off, work so much, and we're just getting by. Like we're not buying. I visited a friend the other day, and I think most of their neighbors are like baby boomers and Gen Xers.
Mm-hmm.
Every house, I kid you not, there were 15 houses on this street. Every house had an RV.
Ugh.
And it was just one. I was talking to Krista about it, and it really dawned on me of, I don't think our generation is going to have this world. currently in the current economic struggles, absolutely not.
Right.
Eggs are so expensive that an RV is never in our future. But that is kind of our station in life currently, where maybe we can get a home or we can get a nice apartment, we can get by, but those extra stuff we'll never really obtain currently, as long as everything's going the way it's going. And that is our office space. And somehow that's still really relevant, even though their situation is just a little different. It has so many parallels that it just feels like they're talking about our current situation, even though it's 26 years old. Like, it's a totally different generation.
Yeah.
Considering that, what, millennials start at 1980, maybe 81. So even at the point that this movie was coming out, we were, millennials as a whole, were like barely getting into college. And so it's just a different world. Like, it's a totally different generation that they're talking about, but yet it somehow connects so well. And maybe that's more of a condemnation about our current system in place and our current state of affairs, is that this movie that was making fun of the negative things of the corporate world and capitalism and whatever it might be, and we watch it in 2025 and it's like, oh crap.
I still relate to this. Yeah.
This is all still very accurate, and it makes me so sad. Oh. Anything else? Anything you want to, any nuggets of wisdom you want to leave the audience?
You know, no, I don't have anything. I was trying to come up with something, but I got nothing.
That's A-okay with me.
Hey, it's not rocket surgery.
Hey. It might be one day, considering what our people, anyway, I hate Elon. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. No, not watching. Go watch this movie. It's fun. It is rated R, so don't watch it with kids around. It'd be a no-no. And remember, review those rewinds, and we'll see you